One, one, two.
Give it like a louder. Oops, it will turn on. Otherwise, it will turn off. It will silent for a while.
Okay.
Anything I can help you with?
I'm just setting this up.
Yeah.
Because the timings changed.
Yes.
I was supposed to do evening.
Mm-hmm.
It means that I have to do a live thing even for our total yoga group, our community.
Yeah.
So I will just. That's only 15 minutes. That starts.
Oh, you've got your app? No, it was your story.
The
Okay.
website. That no, that's we're not doing an app. On our total yoga group.
Mm-hmm.
Set. Namaste. Can I just request you to come in closer? I'm not going to be using the mic. You can use up this space and so on and so forth. So to the back, please come forward. Can I also request everybody to just leave their books and their writing stuff and Anything you don't need, just leave it away. Water bottles, the works, bags, books, you don't need any such. Yogi, let's get started. So water bottles, bags, books, nothing, just you. And let's begin with 1 minute in silence. So please, if you can come in close. I can't use the mic for chanting. Thank you so much. You can't use a mic for chanting. Sitting absolutely straight. Let's just take a minute silence, please. So tuning into the sound of the river with your eyes closed. What do you do with your hands? Chin mudra. The eyes Shambhavi mudra. If any of you do any of these three, please put your hand up. Chin mudra, fingers, tongue on the soft upper palate, Kechri mudra. Eyes closed above the eyebrow center, Shambhavi mudra. That's the basic body language for meditativeness to happen. By and large, as we celebrate Yoga Day today, the one message that I'd like to share with each and every one of you is that meditation is the art of waiting gracefully. You can put in all the effort, you can climb up to the mountain top, but you cannot force the sun to rise. You put in all the effort, anything less of your 100% effort, no meditation will happen. Once you put 100% effort, having the grace to wait is what you're training in yoga. In today's session, we're going to be looking at the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali that for the last 2500 years has lit up the journey for all of us yogis. We'll be studying two parts of it. The first, which I did with you briefly on day one, but today we'll do it with the chanting. So I wish you all the very best. 3 hours is a long time, but it's a sufficient enough amount of time to study a subject. Yeah? If you have the necessary focus for the next 2.5, 3 hours, you can understand the subject at great depth. So with your eyes closed, commit to seek the grace to be able to learn. With the eyes remaining closed, bring your hands into a namaste and just stay in a namaste. The eyes remain closed. We begin with the first paying respects to Patanjali. Just keep the eyes closed, don't move your body, stay very still. Yogena chittasya padena vacham malam sharirasya cha vaidyakenaha yopakarotam pravaram muninam patanjalim pranjaliranatosmi abahu purushakaram shankchakrasidaranam sahasrashisham shvetam Pranamami Patanjalim. Pranamami Patanjalim. Pranamami Patanjalim. Together, we're going to go through the first 15 Yoga Sutras. So you can continue to be in a Namaste. Continue to have your eyes closed so that you're focusing only on your listening. Once we've gone through it once, through Yoga Nidra, where you're listening, Atha Yoga Anushasanam Yogaschitta Vritti Nirodha Tada Drashtuha Swarupe Avastanam Vritti Sarupya Mitaratra Vrittayaha Panchataya Klishtaha Pramana Viparyaya Vikalpa Nidra Smritayaha Pratyaksha Anumana Agama Pramanani Viparyayo Mitya Jnanam Atadrupa Pratishtam Shabdanyananupati Vastu Shunyo Vikalpaha Abhava Pratyaya Alambana Vritti Nidra Anubhuta Vishaya Sampramosaha Smriti Abhyasa Vairagya Vyatanirodha Tatra Stito Yatnobhyasaha Satu Dirghakala Nairantarya Satkara Sevito Drida Bhumi Drishta Anusravika Vishaya Vitrashnasya Vasikara Samnya Vairagyam. Friends, let's study together. Atha Yoga Anushasanam. Let's say this together. Atha Yoga Anushasanam. Atha Yoga Anushasanam. One more time. Atha Yoga Anushasanam. The one thing you got to understand in Sanskrit is it's not the meaning that's important. The sonic vibration itself transforms the brain. The brain gets wired differently. We are so used to trying to understand from just the meanings of the words. The language itself has a certain power. Yeah? The word Sanskrit means perfect. So we'll do that again. Atha Yoga Anushasanam. Let's say that. Atha Yoga Anushasanam. Now, instructions on yoga. Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Let's say that. Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Yoga is the cessation of all patterns of consciousness. You remember from the first lecture we did? The cessation. So for the last 20 days, you've been doing essentially this. Ceasing patterns that you're used to. Yogas Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Can we go to the next one? Do you want to do this once more, everybody? Yogas Chitta Vritti vritti nirodha. If somebody asks you what is yoga philosophy, this is your answer. This one sutra encapsulates everything that you're trying to do in yoga. Yeah? You're trying to seize the patterns of the mind. So you stop being a compulsive person and you start being a person who has choice. This is very important. You know from your own life, compulsive, you know that, not so much fun. Having the choice to do what you want in life is what you're after. Yeah? Yogas, chitta, vritti, nirodha. The next one, we've studied it together. Tada drashtuha swarupe avasthanam. Tada drashtuha, the seer, then the seer is established in his true self. Tada drashtuha swarupe vasthanam. So right now you're thinking, okay, this is me, that is me, this is so and so. When that all stops, then you're established in your true self. Have you had some moments of silence in the last 2 weeks where this has gone blank? Yes, no? Few seconds. Very good. Tada drashtuha swarupe vasthanam. So imagine a lifetime of silence, right? Imagine that few seconds is your 24 hours. That's the yoga mind you're training for, right? And what happens if that doesn't happen to you? Vritti sarupya mitaratra. Vritti sarupya mitaratra. Otherwise, you keep identifying with the mind. Yeah, so somebody at breakfast was telling me that something about this, something about that. So you keep identifying with that if you're not established in your true self. Yeah? Today is like this, so I feel like this, today is like that. Not very important. Is that okay? Yeah. Vritti sarupya mitaratra. Now the question arises, what are the 5 things your mind can do? Do you remember from the first lecture? Who remembers? No, in English, tell me in English. English is a monkey mind. Right knowledge, wrong knowledge, imagination, memory, sleep. You don't remember? We did this. Yeah? Yes, no, maybe I can do it again. Yes? Pramana. 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 Viparyaya. Wrong knowledge. Yeah? What is pramana? How do you get right knowledge? Pratyaksha anumana agama. Pratyaksha, direct experience of life. Yeah? Anumana, inference. Agama, testimony. Pratyaksha, anumana, agama. What is direct experience, anybody?
Senses.
Yeah. Now you know what a week in Bali is like. Direct experience. What is inference?
Read about it.
Okay, that's testimony. Inference, you know you're going to die. You've not experienced death, but you have inferred that after about 100 years, everybody dies. Is there anybody here who thinks they're not going to die? Okay, welcome to right knowledge then. Yeah? So that is inference, pratyaksha anumana, agama, testimony. Testimony, yeah? You accept Einstein, you accept Buddha, because they know what they're talking about. Yeah? Shall we say that together? Pratyaksha anumana. Anumana is inference, agama. Okay. What is wrong knowledge? Viparyayo mitya jnanam atadrupa pratishtam. Wrong knowledge is that knowledge that is based just on words, misunderstanding. Yeah, no direct inference, no direct experience, just on words. Let me just put this off and we are good to go. Yeah? Right knowledge, wrong knowledge. Anybody wrong knowledge? So many things you read and you believe, but you don't have direct inference. If the guy giving the testimony is not a really good person, you're basing your life on somebody else's words. Dangerous, very dangerous. Yeah. I'll take questions later. Yeah, so be very careful when it comes to wrong knowledge, because you can live a whole lifetime, and when you're 60 years of age, you suddenly realize that you based your life on something that was untrue. Yeah, it happens to a lot of people. If you ask most people who are quite old, they would have developed an entire life plan based on something that later on in life they understand was not really worth it. Yeah, so it's very important to make that call. Right knowledge, wrong knowledge, imagination, imagination, shabda jnananupati, shabda jnananupati. Shabda is word, shabda jnananupati, the meaning of the word. Vastu shunyo, no object, vikalpa. So when a poet describes a mountain, you've not seen it, but you can see it in your mind's eye based on his words. Imagination. Yeah? Yeah? Or you can imagine what your holiday is going to be like this Christmas. You've built an entire thing based on your words. Is that okay? Shabda jnananupati vastu shunyo vikalpaha. So the mind can engage in this. Please understand, we are talking yoga. There is no such thing as positive thinking or mental or negative thinking. We're not interested in that. Yeah? That's a very juvenile topic. In yoga, we're not interested in what is positive, what is negative. We are interested in silence. Yeah? We're interested in just watching what's going on anyway, without having to engage. So you don't have to become a positive thinker. You just have to become a person who can watch the thinking. Is that okay? So don't think that right knowledge and wrong knowledge, one is positive, one is negative. Both are external. It's right knowledge, it's just external. It's not your core essence, it's not your core. Even without that right knowledge, you exist. Yeah? Be very clear, what is yoga? It's not positive thinking. Yeah? It's to go beyond that. Next, what is sleep? So he goes on to say, abhava pratyaya alambana. Abhava pratyaya alambana. A state of mind where there is no content. When you're sleeping, you don't know your name, you don't know who you are, and yet there is a phase of mind active. Right? Because when you get up, you know that you were sleeping. There was some part of you that was awake. Right? But it doesn't know your name. So everything that we have built up is not there in sleep. Yeah? So he's defining it, Patanjali is defining it as another phase of mind. Abhava pratyaya alambana vritti nidra. And the last one, memory. Anubhuta vishaya, old happening, occurrence. Asampromosaha, that you do not allow to pass through the sieve of your experience. You lock it. That is known as memory. Yeah? Therefore, you create your own memories. So if something happens to you, 1,000 things have happened to you today. You're not going to remember any of this next year. I hope you remember this. But you're not going to remember what you ate on June 21st and so on. It was an important part of your day 30 minutes ago, but you're not going to remember whether you took the green smoothie or the pink smoothie. It goes away. But some memories you lock in, and that's known as memory. Yeah? Right knowledge, everybody, can you give me the three kinds of right knowledge?
Direct experience, inference, testament.
Everybody else, why are you guys so sleepy? Today is yoga day. I've come all the way. I should be sleepy. You guys are. Is the course too hard? And don't blame it on the solar eclipse. Yogis don't blame nothing. Right knowledge, inference, and testimony. Wrong knowledge, based on words, no direct experience, no right testimony, no inference. Imagination, something that you build up through words. Please remember that whatever you imagine is just a glorification of your past experience. Yeah? Anything that you imagine or plan is just a glorified version of what you have already experienced. Yeah? So the mind is either in the future, which is the glorified past, or in the past. I'd like to share this with you. In the Hindi language, we have the word kal. Kal means either tomorrow or yesterday. You know, just imagine what a funny thing, right? A language has the same word for tomorrow and for yesterday. Just by seeing the tense, if I speak in the past tense, the person knows I'm talking about yesterday. If I speak in the future, so what the creators of the language understand that both are illusory now. One has been experienced, it's gone, it's just there in your mind still. One is yet to come, it's just a glorification of the past. So it's both not given too much importance. Yeah? Yeah? Clear with imagination? Clear with memory? Yeah? And clear with sleep? Is that okay? Okay. I'll make you listen to these sutras. Of course, it's a bit loud with the river, but I'll make you listen to the sutras when you're yoga nidra. Yeah? The conscious mind picks up very little. As you're listening to me, you're thinking about something else, maybe your exam. Even that part of you, whatever I say that matches previous learning in the subconscious realm. So we'll do that in Yoga Nidra. So we've come up to a few sutras, we've come up to 11. Now I'm going to take you through the next three, 12, 13, 14 and 15. Yeah? In this Patanjali, can you all hear me by the way? Now, why am I shouting? The next four sutras, Patanjali explains how do you attain success in yoga. Okay? Abhyasa, Vairagya. Are you all familiar with the word Abhyasa? The word Abhyasa. So he's giving two ways in which to succeed at yoga. Yeah? The first one is practice. Abhyasa is practice. Tatra sthito yatnobhyasaha sa tu dirgha kala, for a long uninterrupted period. We normally say that on the seventh day God took rest after creating. But yogis don't take that. Unfortunately or fortunately, there's no rest day. Even God needs rest, but not for yogis. Dirgha kala, uninterrupted, long period of practice, abhyasa, nairantarya, uninterrupted, not for 1 month, not for 2 months, for 10 years without missing a day. Then we are talking, right? So after 10 years, send me a message. I'll be expecting messages from 30 people. Hey, 3,650 days without skipping a single day. Then I'll say, Namaste, Yogi. If I say Namaste, Yogi on June 27th, I'm devaluing the word. Make sense? You gotta earn it. You gotta earn your stripes. Satu dirgha kala, long time, nairantarya, without missing. So people ask me, how many times should you do yoga in a week? Minimum 7 days. Minimum 7 days. Otherwise, it's a hobby. Hobby is fine. Hobby is very good, very useful. But it's not your journey. Yeah? It's not your journey. If you're eating 7 days a week, if you're sleeping 7 days a week, there is no way that you can't not do. So can I make a request to everybody today on Yoga Day? Can we all take a commitment to dedicate 1 year of your life, just 1 year from today till the next Yoga Day, just 1 year. It seems long, but when you're 60, 70 and about to die, 1 year could have been given. 1 year full dedication to the subject. Yeah? 1 hour a day, every day. If you can't, if you're not in charge of your 1 hour in a day, you're in a bad space in life. If you can't even have the control to dedicate 1 hour for what you want to do, if this is what you want to do, that is. Yeah? 1 hour a day for one whole year, that's a commitment. There's no Sunday off, there's no, New Year's Day holiday, nothing. Every day. Right? If you can do that, you would have completely transformed in 1 year. Yeah? Unbelievably. Because the neuronal pathways would have got reprogrammed. Everything that you call a habit, everything that you call your personality today is nothing but unique ways in which the neurons connect. If I can change that, I am a completely different person. I don't need to change anything. I just need to see how different neurons connect differently. Yeah? 1 year, every day in yoga, you are the experiment. You are the experimenter. Right? This is the beauty of yoga. Yeah? Once you have studied the toolkit, you have to be an experimenter. So 1 year, Dirghakala, Nairantarya. Then you ask me a question on yoga, the question will have some value. Right? Because the first few questions you would have already answered to yourself. Yeah? And after 10 years, there won't be any questions. But without in the work, there'll be a million questions. Right? So the art is not asking the right question. The art is putting in the work and searching for a question. Right? Right? Satu dirghakal, abhyasa. What is vairagya? Do you know the meaning of vairagya? Desirelessness. Desirelessness. As the Buddha, he's based his entire philosophy on desirelessness. Patanjali is saying, you need two things. Just practice is half. The other half is desirelessness, vairagya. He defines it like this. When the desire to experience anything that you have seen or anything that you have heard of goes away, you reach a desireless state. Are we clear? Yeah. Desireless, it doesn't mean that you give up material objects. It means you give up the dogmas, the belief patterns. You disassociate with that. He goes on to say that when you, so the words he uses are very beautiful. Drashta, what is seen, anushravika, experience, what people have said, testimonies, anushravika vishaya, what you have heard of from testimonies. When the desire to experience that drops, when the desire to experience what is written in the scriptures drops, then you're desireless. Clear? A lot of us think that it is about getting the right desires. Give up greed, give up material, give up this and I'll become a yogi. No. You give up even the desire to see what is experienced experienced or explained in the scriptures, then you're desireless. You want to take some time to cogitate that? Yeah? When you give up even that desire, when you give up even that desire, even the desire to be good, even that is gone, then we are talking. Yeah? Yeah? Clear? Desirelessness. You give up a few things and you call yourself desireless. No. He sets the bar very high. Even when you have given up the desire to experience what is written. So, a lot of us, day one, we said that we want to experience something that you heard of, right? Peace or enlightenment or something. When even that desire drops, then he calls it vairagya. Yeah? Now, obviously, you have to have something to motivate you. Yeah? So, in practical terms, how can you do desirelessness? In my opinion, the way I was taught by my guru, you fix yourself to one thing in life. Say it's yoga. You fix yourself to that 1 hour practice daily. Everything else in life will fall in place. If you have one anchor, your relationships, your career, your health, everything else will fall in place. If you don't have one anchor, you'll have 5 things pulling you. Should I focus on career? Should I focus on relationships? Should I choose one? Choose one, work on it, work on it. At some point, even that one you'll drop. But till there, you cannot drop everything at once. It's not, we're not designed like that. Yeah, you can jump off a bungee jump, for 2-3 seconds you have dropped it, but then you're back. You choose one thing, focus so much on it, then you drop. Make sense? Yeah. So abhyasa, vairagya. If you combine the two, you can fix yourself on your abhyasa. There will come a time 10 years later where the desire to do it also drops. But till then, don't fool yourself. In the yoga journey, very often we make fools of ourselves. Yeah? We make fools of ourselves because we believe that now we are better than we were 1 month ago, or we are better than we were 2 years ago. Yeah? And without having a good guide, a guide or a guru is just a person who will tell you, chill, not yet. That's the only job. Without having that guide, it's dangerous. Right? So, fix yourself to one thing, long, 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 long. Eventually, you will drop even that. But till then, take one thing. So let's just sit before I go on to the next sutras. Take on a sankalp, a resolve. Yeah? From today to the next summer solstice. Here it's the winter solstice. But till the next June 21st, one thing that you will do every day. One pivot for your life. It doesn't need to be yoga. I was suggesting yoga practice because that's our conversation together. Anything in your life, one thing, if you can take out an hour every day to do that, yeah. If you don't have an hour every day, please sort out life. You've got to have an hour to yourself. So just take that, make it a sankalp, make it a short sentence, and then I'll go on. You've got 2 minutes to do that. Resolution, resolve. It has to have words because the left hemisphere only understands language. But it also has to have a visualization. The right hemisphere only understands images. So visualize, verbalize your resolution for 1 year. Are we there? Has everybody got one? If you haven't got one yet, by end of day, please do it. Yeah? And experiment for 1 year. If you cannot get yourself to do what you want, then a little bit of work is needed. A little bit of work is needed. We cannot sugarcoat it anymore, right? At 30 or at 40, if I cannot get my body, mind, emotions to go in the direction I want it to go, that's why you're doing yoga here today. That's why we've come to study. Right? I want this to go in one direction, the way I want it to go. Can I go on with more sutras? Yeah. Okay. Can you just pass me? There's a water bottle down here, under this. In the next set of sutras, so that was from the first 15, where we study the nature of the mind and how to attain success in yoga. Now we go to chapter 2 and we to see the Ashtanga tradition. When I say Ashtanga, I mean the 8 stages of yoga, not the Ashtanga yoga practice that you've been doing. That's what the brand is called. Yeah? That style is called. But we are looking at Patanjali. So what I'll do is, I'm going to play it for you guys. Just listen in, and then we'll discuss. We've got about 25, 30 sutras to listen in. So just sit here itself and listen in. Are you all having a difficulty with Sanskrit? Unfortunately, yoga was written in Sanskrit. Yeah. It's difficult for me also, I think, in English, but I have to retrain my tongue and retrain my voice to get back to Sanskrit. So we're in the same boat. I have an advantage because I understand Hindi. Yeah. Okay, guys, please settle down. Be as comfortable as you can. I had sent this on the group. Did you get a chance to listen in? So let's listen to the first 15 sutras that we just studied.
अथ योगानुशासनम् योगश्चित्तवृत्तिनिरोधः तदा द्रष्टुः स्वरूपे स्थानम् वृत्तिसारूप्यमितरत्र वृत्त्ययः पञ्चतयः क्लिष्टाः प्रमाणविपर्यय विकल्पनितरा स्मृतयः प्रत्यक्षानुमानागमाः प्रमाणानि विपर्ययो मिथ्याज्ञानमतद्रूपप्रतिष्ठम् शब्दज्ञानानुपाति वस्तुशून्यो विकल्पः प्रत्ययालम्बना वृत्तिर्निद्रा अनुभूतविषया सम्प्रमोषः स्मृतिः अभ्यासवैराग्याभ्यां तन्निरोधः तत्र स्थितौ यत्नोऽभ्यासः स तु दीर्घकालनैरन्तर्यसत्कारा सेवितो दृढभूमिः दृष्टानुश्रविकविषय वितृष्णस्य वशीकारसंज्ञा वैराग्यम्
We'll go one by one, so you have a little bit of time to assimilate.
अथ योगानुशासनम्
Atha Yog Anushasanam. Now, instructions on yoga.
अथ योगानुशासनम् योगश्चित्तवृत्तिनिरोधः
Definition of yoga. Yogas Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Cessation of patterns of consciousness or mind.
तदा द्रष्टुः स्वरूपेव स्थानम्
Then the seer, drashtuha, seer, is established, vastanam, in his true self, swarupe.
वृत्तिसारूप्यमितरत्र
If you don't do yoga, you identify with every pattern. In the morning you think you're like this, tomorrow you think you're like that. Every day you think you're something else because you're identifying with the patterns.
धृत्ययः पञ्चतयः क्लिष्टाः
There are 5 patterns of mind, some painful, some not painful.
प्रमाणविपर्यय विकल्पनिद्रा स्मृतयः
Right knowledge, pramana, wrong knowledge, viparyaya, imagination, vikalpa, sleep, nidra, memory, smriti.
प्रत्यक्षानुमानागमाः प्रमाणानि
Direct experience, inference, testimony is right knowledge.
विपर्ययो मिथ्याज्ञानमतद्रूपप्रतिष्ठम्
Wrong knowledge based on words which are not factual.
शब्दज्ञानानुपा
No object. Leave that phase of mind where there is no content. You don't know who you are.
अनुभूतविषया सम्प्रमोषः स्मृतिः
Memory is when some experience of life in the past, not allowing it to pass through.
अभ्यासवैराग्याभ्यां तन्निरोधः
You've already seen the word nirodha, cessation. How do you bring about the cessation of patterns? Through practice and desirelessness.
यत्नोऽभ्यासः स सतो दीर्घकालनैरन्तर्यसत्कारा सेवितो दृढभूमिः
Ongoing practice uninterrupted. Dhrida Bhumi means it becomes firm ground. So it has to become a firm ground in you. So for the next 1 year, every day an hour if you were to do, then you get a chance to say that, okay, I have a practice.
दृष्टानुश्रविकविषय वितृष्णस्य वशीकारसंज्ञा वैराग्यम्
Very beautiful definition of desirelessness. When even the desire to see or to experience what has been described as testimony ceases to be there, then you're desireless. Now, I'm going to take you through to the next sutras that deal with the 8 limbs of yoga. You have done those lectures, right? Let's study what, let's understand how he is defining it.
स्थानादशुद्धिक्षये ज्ञानदीप्तिरा विवेकख्यातेः
You all remember, right? Yama, Niyam, Asana, Pranayam, yeah?
यमनियमासन प्राणायाम प्रत्याहार धारणा ध्यान समाधयोष्टावङ्गानि
There are 8 limbs, Yama, Dharan, Dhyan, Samadhi.
अहिंसा सत्यास्तेय ब्रह्मचर्या परिग्रहा
What are the 5 Yamas? Ahimsa. Give me the English word. Ahimsa, Satya, truthfulness, Asteya, Brahmacharya, Aparigraha, non-possessive. Now we'll understand, this is the way we understand it with English equivalents. But the real magic is to see what happens when you get these things according to him, according to Patanjali. If I were to teach you, I would say non-violence or truth, because that's the way we understand it in the modern world. But he's telling you what happens to you when when you're established in truth. So he'll come to that. That's very interesting.
यमाः जातिदेशकालसमयानवच्छिन्ना सार्वभौमा महाव्रतम्
Jati, Desha, Kala, Samaya. Irrespective of creed, irrespective of nationality, of time, these are the 5 important disciplines, the 5 that he's described. It doesn't matter, it's timeless and it's not dependent on culture, right? So like ahimsa is a value in Africa, it's a value in China, it's a value in Australia, it's not defined by culture. So these are the 5 universal mahavritams, great disciplines for a person.
शौचसन्तोषतपः स्वाध्यायेश्वरप्रणिधानानि
I'll give you the ones in Sanskrit. Tell me the English. Saucha, cleanliness. Santosha, contentment. Tapa, discipline, taking on some hardship. The next one, Swadhyay, self-study, and Ishwar Pranidhan, surrender to a higher entity. Now we'll see how he defines what happens with all of this. Ishwar Pranidhan, he's introducing a concept here that doesn't exist in the Samkhya philosophy that yoga borrows philosophy from. They are sister sciences, but Samkhya is completely atheist. Yeah? In yoga, he's introduced the idea of Ishwar Pranidhan. In Samkhya, there's no need for a divine presence. It's completely elemental. Yeah? I'm composed of 25 evolutes. And it's got nothing to do with any divine or suprahuman aspect. But he introduces the idea of something beyond. Yeah, we've discussed this when we met the first time.
नियमाः वितर्कबाधने प्रतिपक्षभावनम् वितरकाहिंसादयः कृतकारितानुमोदिता लोभक्रोधमोहपूर्वका.
He's giving us what are the opposing sort of experiences that can happen. Lobha. Lobha is greed. Yeah? Lobha,
भावनम्
Lobha, Krodha,
वितरकाहिंसा
Lobha, greed, Krodha, anger. Lobha, Krodha, Moha is pleasure. So your infatuations with pleasure.
आदयः कृतकारितानुमोदिता लोभक्रोधमोहपु.
And Moha is infatuated by, so when we say pleasure, it doesn't mean that you don't enjoy life, no, not that. But you base a life based on something that's unreal. Right? It's not permanent. That's the meaning of that.
पूरवका मृदुमध्याधिमात्र दुःखज्ञानानन्तफला.
Eventually, they lead to sadness, yeah? Greed, anger, or basing a life that's on unreal stuff or impermanent.
प्रतिपक्षभावनम्
Now, I want you to pay attention.
अहिंसा
He's going to tell you what happens. So now we have discussed, okay, ahimsa means non-violence, and we've left it at that, right? But now he's going to tell you what happens when you become a non-violent person. Yeah?
प्रतिष्ठायां तत्सन्निधौ वैरत्यागः.
Very, very beautiful. Ahimsa pratishtam means you are established in non-violence. When you get established in non-violence, everybody around you gives up any violence. Yeah? It's a very beautiful understanding of non-violence, that when you are truly non-violent, everyone around you also becomes, they give up agitation. Yeah? Now, you can ask yourself whether this has happened, not happened, but increasingly you're beginning to see that a complete revolution happens first in one person. So when you become completely non-violent, there is no fight around you, right? If there are small fights happening to you, please understand this has not yet happened. Yeah? You may think you're a peaceful person, but if your friend or neighbor or family member has some fight with you, it means you're not yet established in non-violence. Is that okay? Yeah? So with this kind of detailed explanation that he's giving us, we cannot fool ourselves. I'm peaceful, but everybody has a problem with me. I'm a peaceful guy. For some reason, this person's shouting at me. That means you're not a peaceful guy, sorry to say. Right? When you're truly established in non-violence, everybody around you gives up any agitation. So you will have no issues. That's the gift of non-violence.
सत्यप्रतिशायां फलाश्च.
When you're established in truth, anything that you do happens. Anything that you want to do happens. Yeah? Because your intent is so true. Yeah? So if you're trying to do something and it's not working, check back. But when you're completely true, so it's not for him, it's not don't lie. Yeah? He's saying if you're established in truth, anything that you try to do in life will happen. So sometimes in life it happens, right? You want something and boom, it happens. So right, so true, so centered. But if this happens all the time, Satya has happened to you. I hope you're sort of appreciating the depth in which he's gone. Yeah, he's not leaving it at just be true. He's telling you what happens if you live a life of truth.
अस्तेयप्रतिष्ठायां सर्वरत्नोपस्थानम्.
If you're established in non-stealing, right? Now, different interpreters interpret it as jewels, whether it's really jewels, but essentially, all richness is open to you if you're established in non-stealing. Yeah, I'll leave it at that.
ब्रह्मचर्यप्रतिष्ठायां वीर्यलाभः.
Now, what happens if you're established in brahmacharya? You're non-lustful. Yeah? Virya means a certain vigor is heightened in you. So you find some people, either if they're celibate or if they're completely content in a relationship, you will find that they are very, very energetic. Have you noticed? Yes, no? Some people, they are very content in a relationship. They are very energetic. They have enough virya. Yeah? Or it could be, say, a priest. Maybe you've encountered a priest who's genuinely a priest. You'll find that they are full of energy, full of life, almost divine. Yeah? Virya is so high in that person because he's not dissipating anything mentally. So either ways, either in a content, beautiful relationship or celibate, you'll find that very heightened virya. Aparigraha, non-holds. So when you're not possessive, you're open to all knowledge. You have a certain distance from your body, right? The word is not aversion, but you have a certain distance from your body. And this is very important, very beautiful. It becomes so focused and it's not under the influence of the senses. Yeah? Then you're capable of Atma Darshan, of experiencing the soul. This is giving a very, see, for us, we left it at keep the body clean, take a bath, end of story. But he's gone many levels deeper. Keep it so cleansed that there's a certain distance between you and the body. The mind stays focused. You're not under the influence of the senses, and you've become capable of seeing your own spirit, Atma Darshan.
Santoshadanuttamasukhalaabha.
If you're truly content, you're capable of the highest bliss. Yeah? So contentment is the first stage of experiencing the highest bliss. Right? Without contentment, you won't get there. All of us are into happiness, right? So the first stage is you have to be content.
Kayendriyasiddhirasiddhikshatapasaha.
What is the gift of taking on some hardships? Tapa. Kayendriya siddhi, kaya body, siddhi, get some mastery over the body. Okay? Now say once a week, you let go, you fast, you miss a meal once a week. Now you're not dependent on the body's rhythms. You discover some mastery over the body. So in the next 1 year, if you say every day you're going to practice, for example, that means that you have to get up at a certain time. So many things, you get mastery over the cycles of the body. Otherwise, based on how the body is, so a lot of people tell me, today I'm not feeling so good, I'll do this, today I'm not feeling so good. The question is not why you're feeling so good. The question is, you have not asked your body or disciplined your body mind to be in a certain way. You've not created the day for yourself. You arrived at the day and then you're saying, okay, now I'll respond to it. Yeah? Are you getting the difference?
स्वाध्यायादिष्टदेवता संप्रयोगः
Gives a very, very beautiful explanation for Swadhyay. Now, we looked at it as self-study, journaling, right? What he's saying is Ishta Devata. So we have this idea in the Indian system of Ishta Devata, your own deity. Do you want me to explain that a bit? Okay. I'll have to explain the entire Indian thought process. Ishta Devata means, according to the Indian tradition, you have 330 million gods, right? And if you don't like any of them, you can make your own. The idea is that God, it's not that there are 330 gods, there are 330 million ways to approach the one divine. Yeah? So it's not polytheism, it's just a creative expression. That means it's unlimited, because if you don't like all 330 million, the idea there is that God is a young, it's a tool that you use. Is it a little difficult to grasp? Okay, let me put in rudimentary words. The idea there is, there's a debate whether God made man or man made God. The idea there is that you make something as an expression of the divine. Right? Today, I took a stone and I put my energy into that stone and I started to pray to it, it became a temple. So what's the difference between that stone and the stone that you find in a toilet? The only difference is the amount of emotion and intention that people have put for centuries together. That stone is now a representation of the divine. Like that, you can take on an Ishta Devata. That is your personal deity. It can be any, for most of you are Christian by birth, so Jesus is your personal deity. But however you want to see it, I'm giving a rudimentary example. Right? So you can choose that as your deity. And through Swadhyay, that deity becomes real for you. Is that okay? Samprayoga. That deity becomes real, happens. I've just given an example. Please don't mind the examples I give. I'm Christian myself, so no love lost. But the point is that you choose one and that becomes, you meditate so much on that Ishta Devata that becomes real for you. You will read stories of yogis where they are meditating and the goddess or the god appears. Yeah? Now, however that happens to you, in the same way that you have a lot of Christian saints, they get the insignia of Christ, right? It's become so real for them through their meditation that they get the holes in the hands when they sit in prayer. So like that Ishta Devata has become their reality. It's very beautiful understanding of the depth in Swadhyay, not just journaling. Journaling is the start, but when it becomes so deeply rooted, the Ishta Devata,
समाधिसिद्धिरीश्वर प्रणिधानात्
now here again very interesting, Ishwar Pranidhan, surrender to a higher entity, gives you Samadhi Siddhi, the experience of Samadhi. He's categorically saying that Ishwar Pranidhan or surrender to a higher entity is required to experience Samadhi. It's very fashionable in the modern world to not have any surrender element. Yeah? Please don't make that mistake. Yeah? If you want to make a mistake, make it. but then you'll waste a lot of years of your life fighting it. But eventually you'll understand that logic can take you only so far. You will have to make a leap of faith. When I say faith, I don't mean it in any other way. You have to make a leap. You'll have to go beyond your logic. And that happens through the art of surrender. Yeah? So when you learn the art of surrender, then you're capable of samadhi. Surrender can be to anything, yeah, anything at all. He describes Ishwar in other sutras. We won't touch on that today. We're touching only on the Ashtanga system today. Are we clear? Can I just take you quickly through the yamas? Please tell me what you understood. The first yama, ahimsa, what happens? No violence around you. Okay, so if sister is fighting with you, you're not yet in ahimsa. It's not that she's not in ahimsa, you're not in ahimsa. Yeah?
For example,
Can I take questions later? I'll take questions later. Clear with ahimsa? What happens in the next one? Satya. When you're established in truth, what happens to you?
anything that you want
Anything that you want
to, that manifestation.
to or desire will happen. What happens in asteya? When you're stealing,
Every jewel will be yours.
everything is open to you. Jewels are open to you. Yeah? What happens in brahmacharya? Non-lust.
You get to be burned.
Why is only this lady saying everything? Please keep quiet. Others, please wake up. What happens when you're non-lustful? Not allowed to have sex. Yeah? Warriors, wrestlers, sportsmen were not allowed to have sex so that there's a certain vigor, a certain violent streak that is maintained. Yeah? They would pillage, rape, and so on after battle. But to keep them in that space of, yeah. But what he's saying is that high level of vigor. What about the last aparigraha? What happens when you're non-possessive? Yeah, knowledge of life and past life and everything opens up. What about the cleanliness? What happens to you when you are clean? You can?
You can disconnect from your like from your thoughts.
No. From your body, there's a distance with the body. And what happens to the mind? Focus on the soul. And one more thing. Yes, one more thing. You're not dependent on your senses. You're not a slave to senses. Important. Capable of bliss. Yeah? Next, tapa. What happens with tapa? Certain mastery over the body rhythms. Next one, tapa, swadhyaya. Please don't say. Anybody else? Swadhyaya. Come on, guys. No, the one before that. Tapa we have done. Swadhyaya, self-study. Swadhyaya. Sorry? No, it is santosha. Swadhyaya. What you've written as self-study, what happens? The Ishta Devata, your deity becomes real for you, your personal deity. You've understood the idea of Ishta Devata? I'm not going into great detail, but you've got an inkling of what that means. And the last one, Ishwar Pranidhan. What happens with surrender?
In order to reach samadhi, you have to do a little faith.
Surrender. Let's not use the word faith, surrender. So, yeah, through the art of surrender, you become capable of experiencing samadhi. Okay. Shall we go on? So we've done yama, niyama. Is that interesting for all of you? See, a lot of the times, even if I were to teach or anybody were to teach, we overly simplify it. So I'll leave you by saying Satya is truth, right? Now you understood what he means by Satya. That anything you want in life is happening. Then you know that you're really truthful. Yeah? Effortlessly, whatever you desire is happening. The most beautiful is, of course, ahimsa. The one peaceful person like a Gandhi, and the whole country becomes peaceful, or the whole community becomes peaceful, or like a Buddha. Right? Around a Buddha, violence cannot exist. Yeah? So like that. Very beautiful understanding, not just the meaning of the word, but he's telling us what happens if that becomes a way of life for you. Yeah? So if ever you find that somebody is shouting at you, screaming at you and all that, it's a good indication that something in you is not yet non-violent. Now in yoga, we have these two things, internal experience, yeah, and external relations. Yeah? If somebody is shouting at me, it's a great tool for me to understand that something in me is not yet completely peaceful. If I was completely non-violent, that wouldn't have happened. Yeah? I'm just giving you an example. Please don't ask me somebody is walking down the road, somebody shot him. Yeah? I'm just explaining to you, as he explains, what happens to a person who's completely peaceful. Let's not use very dramatic experiences. Let's use our own life story. Yeah? If your roommate is fighting with you, something in you is not very peaceful. You're triggering it. Yeah? So let's stop blaming the roommate and let's start to understand that we can go one level more calm, one level more peaceful. Okay, can I go on to asana? I'll take questions later.
No, let's say about these brahmacharya is not clear for me.
Brahmacharya, non-lust, either celibate, no sex, or in a relationship, very good sexual thing, but not lustful, not thinking about it all the time. Either yes or no, but it's not in your mind all the time. Yeah? I like a priest, but thinking about it all the time and abusing people, that is not brahmacharya. Yeah? Brahmacharya means it's not running in my mind all the time. You cannot sit calm if you are full of lust. That's the idea.
Sthira Sukhamasana.
Now, for the last 10 years or so, you've been practicing yoga, asanas, so on and so forth. He requires two words to define it. What has taken us 10 years to study, for him it's two words. Sthira, steady, sukha, comfortable. You've obviously done this in your lecture. Have you done this? How have you not done this? You've not done this? What are you saying? This is week 3. I'm sure you've done it on week 1. Yeah. You've done it? Okay. I'm sure you've all done it. You couldn't have come so far in a course without seeing this. Sthira, Sukha, Asana. Asana is a posture that is steady and comfortable. Huh? The meaning of asana. That's the meaning of asana. Steady, sthira, sukha, comfortable. Yeah, he's not talking about this. He's talking only about the meditative posture. Yeah? Now please understand that this is how the body mind works. That when you have taken care of all these things, when you reach a stage where you can sit like this for 2 hours, and not just the physical thing, but there is absolutely no need to be anywhere else, then you are established in asana. Yeah? I train a lot of athletes, super fit, but they cannot sit. They have the strength, but they don't have the composure. So you need to have both. You have to be at that stage in your life where I really don't care what's going on there. I can be here. So it's a stage in life when you have sorted out yama, niyama, you have trained the body, you can just be. Right? It's very difficult for everybody, and especially in our times, where even if we have 2 minutes, we want to try and entertain ourselves for those 2 minutes. Yeah? When you don't need any entertainment, when you can just be, that's what asana is. Now we'll tell you how to do asana.
प्रयत्नशैथिल्या
Prayatna saitilyam, effortlessly.
अनन्तसमापत्तिभ्याम्
Prayatna saitilyam, effortlessly. Ananta samap, fixing your mind beyond. So you fix it on the breath, you fix it on your sankalp. So when you're holding a posture, you've got to fix your mind on something. Or when you're sitting in a meditation, you fix your mind on something, some sankalp of yours, and effortlessly you do it. If you're making a lot of effort, if it's paining, no meditation is going to happen. Yeah?
ततो द्वन्द्वानभिघातः
Have you done this sutra? What is the benefit of asana? Yes, no? No, no, no. Have you tato dvandad nabhigata? I'm sure, I'm sorry, I don't know how much, what all you have done, so that's why I'm asking. If you can tell me, I won't repeat. And if you tell me, then I can get into the subject. Tato dvandad nabhigata. Then duality of the mind is not there. Throughout life, it's yes, no, should I not, should I not. This keeps going on. When you do asana, you're clear-minded. He's giving a definite benefit of asana. For him, asana is not to become flexible, not to become strong. You're already flexible and strong before you can sit. For him, asana means that tato dvandad, nabhigata. Now, there is no duality of the mind. Right? Very beautiful. His understanding of a human being is very, very evolved. So even the benefits he gives is not like us. The benefits that we give will be very petty. For him, the benefit of asana is, if you can sit like this for a long period of time, then you'll be very clear-minded. You're not swayed by should I, yes, no. Although throughout life, yes, no. The nature of the monkey mind is to yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Clear with asana? Definition, sthira, sukha. Come on, guys, say this. Asana. You're going to be teachers. People are going to ask you, what is asana? Sthira, sukha, asana. He's given only 3 sutras for asana. Yeah, for us, 100% or 90% of our class is asana. For him, it's just 3 sutras out of 196. Yeah? Please understand the further the journey that you have to still go on, right? And what happens, how to do asana? Effortless. Huh? Yes, and fixing the mind beyond. Effortless and fixing the mind beyond. So, what is asana? How to do asana? Third question, what happens if you do asana? So, what happens if you do asana? The dualities drop. Imagine living a day with no dualities. Boom, you know what to do, what to do, what to do. Imagine living a life like that. Can I go on to pranayama?
तस्मिन् सति श्वासः प्रश्वासयोर्गतिविच्छेदः प्राणायामः
Tasmin sati shwasa prashwasa. Inhalation, sort of controlled inhalation, controlled retention, controlled exhalation, in and out, is pranayama. So being mindful of the inhalation and exhalation process.
स तु बाह्याभ्यन्तरस्तम्भवृत्तिर्देशकालसङ्ख्याभिः
To continue to practice with a certain focus on the time of inhalation and exhalation. So that is the pranayama he's explaining now.
परिदेवो सूक्ष्मः बाह्याभ्यन्तरविषयाक्षेपी चतुर्थः
Essentially, he's coming closer and closer to retention of breath. The ability to retain breath is the art of pranayama.
ततः क्षीयते प्रकाशावरणम्
Then you're full of light. So when you're established deeply in pranayama, light starts to you experience.
धारणासु च योग्यता
And you become capable of focus. So without pranayama, you're not going to get to focus. Okay? Suppose you have to write an email and it takes you 5 minutes. You think it takes you 5 minutes, but it's taking you 25 minutes. It's because you don't have the focus. You're losing focus every few minutes, right? So essentially, to get better at anything in life, you have to train the focus. It can be anything, whatever you want to do in life, even just to listen, you got to train the focus. To focus, you got to train the breath. To breathe, you got to train the posture. For the posture, you got to train the 5 yamas. So this is the stages that he is setting in motion.
मनसः स्वविषया संप्रयोगे चित्तस्वरूपानुकार इवेन्द्रियाणां प्रत्याहारः
When you start to withdraw your senses in, like a turtle, pulling in the legs, when you start to withdraw your senses, it is known as pratyahara. Have you done this? Yes, no, please tell me.
No.
You have not studied pratyahara? One second, let me drink some water. When would you want to withdraw your senses? Anybody? Why would you want to? When you find so much beauty within, then you will want to look within. Right? As long as you have not found any beauty within, there's a great desire to see everything else. This tree looks beautiful, this river looks beautiful, and I want to experience it. But also, there's a great beauty to the fact that my heart is pumping, I'm capable of poetry, the food's. When my body is optimized, when I am in such a beautiful flow, then I want to live within. It is not that I'm closing my eyes to focus. My eyes are not rested in looking out. It is so interested in the beauty within. People tell me meditation difficult simply because it's not yet that stage. When it is that stage, when the work has been done, when the desire is just to look inside, you don't have to learn meditation. Yeah? Because you can look within. When you're in the within, when I still think that if I change my partner, or if I change my business, or if I change my city, when I have done all of that and still my internal experience has not changed, then I'm ready for yoga. Right? So at this stage, for all of us, including me, all of us, you got to do a balance of both. Focus on your journey of yoga and do all the things you think that are going to change your life. If you think that being in this career or being in this land or being this will change my life, please try it. So keep trying. If you think conceptually that that won't change my life and don't experiment, do what it is, journal it. But slowly you'll begin to find that even when you get the dream job, the dream place to stay, the dream partner, still you're not completely happy. You cannot be. It never happens. Then, even if there's 1% left, you start to look within. So that stage is the journey of yoga. Yama, asana, pranayam. Now you're looking within. Once you're looking, nobody needs to teach you what to see. Nobody should be teaching you what to see in meditation. The only thing that a guide can do is inspire you. That's all. But once you're looking within, please don't outsource anybody else. Straighten. Clear? I'll take questions later. Pratyahara. Yeah. If you force yourself and go for a Vipassana retreat, you're not perhaps at that stage where silence is your nature. You will hate it. It's not that the system is wrong. It's just that you're not quiet within. When you're genuinely quiet within, you won't need to go to any retreat. Your house will be your retreat because you are quiet. I don't know. I've never gone. Okay. Understanding what pratyahara is? So none of this happens by force. But all those things, satya, if I'm in a wrong relationship, I cannot sit like this. Clear? I'm sure all of us have experienced this. When you're in depression, try sitting still. Cannot happen. Yeah? No meditation when you're depressed. Only dance, Surya Namaskar, active. When you're so joyful, you will want to just sit. There are many days in our life when we just want to sit. Not because we are lazy, no. We are overflowing with joy. I really don't care to meet anybody. And I just want to be. When I say I mean generically. You just want to be. You can just be sitting, doesn't even have to be a river. You can just be sitting on your own balcony and you're in bliss. So that has to happen more and more. So that is asana, pranayam, pratyahar. He's setting the stage for the next three that we call together as samyama. Samyama. Samyama has three stages. Dharan, concentration, dharan, dhyan, meditation, samadhi, dissolution of sense of self. Yeah? So understand one thing, that samyama is a continuum of periods of focus. I have focus, I have so much focus, now it's called meditation. It goes on for days on end, now it's called samadhi. Yeah? Yeah? I'll take questions later.
Like when sitting meditation like that, because physically I can't. So I know at the different things you say more probably doing sitting meditation, but I can.
It's it with a back support. Take a
Okay,
wall
I can do
support.
it, but I can do it like that and it's fine.
As long as the central nervous system is working.
ततः परमा पश्यतेन्द्रियाणाम्
Then you become a master of your senses.
इति श्रीपातञ्जले योगशास्त्रे साधननिर्देशो नाम द्वितीयः पादः
So this was the second chapter, Sadhana Pada.
अथ कैवल्य
Now we have a little better understanding of the subject. Yeah?
अथ कैवल्यपादः ॐ
Let's just take a couple of minutes and then I'll get you all to lie down and then I'll play the entire thing. So it just gets into the system, right? So you can set up your mats to be able to lie down in Shavasana. Ensure that if you're at the corners, have your head facing this way. Just have your heads facing this way so that you're closer to the sound. Let's get started. So just lie down. If you can cover your eyes, that's always useful. I just have a question. A lot of you are using a lot of pillows. Is it because the neck is paining? If there's no pain in the neck, in Shavasana, you shouldn't be using. Otherwise, the blood supply is not balanced. If there's a pain, that's different. If there's no pain, don't use it just for comfort. The body can sleep flat. It's designed like that. A pillow is good at night when you sleep because it drains the blood away from the brain. So you're not thinking that much. But when you do things like yoga nidra, it's not a big factor. Starting in 5.
अथ योगानुशासनम् योगश्चित्तवृत्तिनिरोधः तदा द्रष्टस्वरूपेव स्थानम् वृत्तिसारूप्यमितरत्र भृत्ययः पञ्चतयः क्लिष्टाः प्रमाणविपर्यय विकल्पनिद्रा स्मृतयः प्रत्यक्षानुमानागमा प्रमाणानि विपर्ययो मिथ्याज्ञानमतद्रूपप्रतिष्ठम् शब्दज्ञानानुपाती वस्तुशून्यो विकल्पः अभावप्रत्ययालम्बना स्थिरनिद्रा अनुभूतविषया सम्प्रमोषः स्मृतिः अभ्यासवैराग्याभ्यां तन्निरोधः तत्र स्थितौ यत्नोऽभ्यासः स तु दीर्घकालनैरन्तर्यसत्कारा सेवितो दृढभूमिः दृष्टानुश्रविकविषय वितृष्णस्य वशीकारसंज्ञा वैराग्यम् तत्परं पुरुषख्यातेर्गुणवैतृष्ण्यम् वितर्कविचारानन्दास्मितारूपानुगमात् सम्प्रज्ञातः विरामप्रत्ययाभ्यासपूर्वः संस्कारशेषोऽन्यः भवप्रत्ययो विदेहप्रकृतिलयानां श्रद्धा वीर्यस्मृतिसमाधि प्रज्ञापूर्वक इतरेषां तीव्र तीव्रसंवेगानामासन्नः मृदुमध्याधिमात्रत्वात्ततोऽपि विशेषः ईश्वरप्रणिधानाद्वा क्लेशकर्मविपाकाशयैरपरामृष्टः पुरुषविशेष ईश्वरः तत्र निरतिशयं सार्वज्ञबीजम् स एष पूर्वेषामपि गुरुः कालेनानवच्छेदात् तस्य वाचकः प्रणवः तज्जपस्तदर्थभावनम् ततः प्रत्यक्षेतनाधिगमोऽप्यन्तरायाभावश्च व्याधिस्त्यानसंशयप्रमादालस्या विरतिभ्रान्तिदर्शना लब्धभूमिकतवा नवस्थिततवानि चित्तविक्षेपास्तेऽन्तरायाः दुःखदौरमनस्याङ्गमे जयत्वश्वासः प्रश्वासा तत्प्रतिषेधार्थमेकतवाभ्याः मैत्री तच्छरदनविधारणाभ्यां वा प्राणस्य विषयवती वा प्रवृत्तिरुत्पन्ना मनसः स्थितिं प्राणायामविवेकख्यातेः यमनियमासनप्राणायामप्रत्याहार धारणाध्यानसमाधयोष्टावङ्गानि अहिंसा सत्यास्तेयब्रह्मचर्या परिग्रहा यमाः जातिदेशकालसमयानवच्छिन्ना सार्वभौमा महाव्रतम् शौचसन्तोषतपः स्वाध्यायेश्वरप्रणिधानानि नियमाः वितर्कबाधने प्रतिपक्षभावनम् वितर्काहिंसादयः कृतकारितानुमोदिता लोभक्रोधमोहपूर्वका मृदुमध्याधिमात्रा दुःखज्ञानानन्तफला इति प्रतिपक्षभावनम् अहिंसा प्रतिष्ठायां तत्सन्निधौ वैरत्यागः सत्यप्रतिष्ठायां क्रियाफलाश्रयत्वम् अस्तेयप्रतिष्ठायां सर्वरत्नोपस्थानम् ब्रह्मचर्यप्रतिष्ठायां वीर्यलाभः अपरिग्रहस्थैर्ये जन्मकथन्ता सम्बोधः शौचास्त्वाङ्गजुगुप्सा परैरसंसर्गः सतवशुद्धिसौमनस्यैकाग्रयेन्द्रियजयात्मदर्शनयोग्यत्वानि च सन्तोषादनुत्तमसुखलाभः कायेन्द्रियसिद्धिरशुद्धिक्षया तपसः स्वाध्यायादिष्टदेवता संप्रयोगः समाधिसिद्धिरीश्वरप्रणिधानात् स्थिरसुखमासनम् प्रयत्नशैथिल्यानन्तसमापत्तिभ्याम् ततोद्वन्द्वानधिघातः तस्मिन् सति श्वासप्रश्वासयोर्गतिविच्छेदः प्राणायामः स तु बाह्याभ्यन्तरस्तम्भवृत्तिर्देशकालसङ्ख्याभिः परिदृष्टो दीर्घसूक्ष्मः बाह्याभ्यन्तरविषयाक्षेपी चतुरथः ततः क्षीयते प्रकाशावरणम् धारणासु च योग्यता मनसः स्वविषया संप्रयोगे चित्तस्वरूपानुकार इवेन्द्रियाणां प्रत्याहारः ततः परमा पश्यतेन्द्रियाणाम् इति श्रीपातञ्जले योगशास्त्रे साधननिर्देशो नाम द्वितीयः पादः
Association with total yoga brings you this yoga nidra technique. Yoga nidra is a practice in deep relaxation, physical, mental, and emotional relaxation. The only important thing is to keep listening to instructions without spending too much emphasis, but rather just relaxing and listening to the instructions. Prepare yourself for the practice of yoga nidra. Lie down on your back, having your legs slightly apart and your hands by the side with the palms facing upward. Gently close your eyes. Your awareness throughout the practice is that I am practicing yoga nidra. I will stay aware and awake. We are not practicing to fall asleep, rather to stay aware throughout the practice. Bring your attention to your listening to this world, to the other sounds in the room, the sounds outside stay with the sound for 5 seconds and then move on to a new sound. Be aware of your body. Allow your body to relax. Without changing it, just become a witness to your breath. Watching breath go into the body and breath comes out of the body. In and out. Now, be aware of your tongue held up or wherever you move. This is something that you really want to do. Whatever it may be for you, take it into a short positive action and repeat it 2 times. It is not necessary that you have a sunset right now, but at some point it is very helpful to have a sunset. This resolution is like a seed that you sow in the depths of your consciousness at the start and at the end of your yoga breath. Begin to relax the body. Relax all those points of the body in contact with the ground. Relax all those points of the body on the front part of the body in contact with the air. As the body relaxes, it gets heavier and sinks into the floor. We're going to rotate our awareness to different body parts. You don't have to move them. When I mention the name of the body part, repeat the same silently in your mind and visualize it. That is enough for it to relax. Bring your awareness to your right thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, right palm, back of the palm, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, right shoulder, armpit, chest, hip, right thigh, knee, calf, ankle, heel, sole, big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, little toe. Relax the whole right side. Relax little finger. Your left palm, back of the palm, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, left shoulder, armpit, chest, left hip, thigh, knee, arm, hind, left big toe, second toe. Third, you relax the back of the body, the back of the head, back of the neck, shoulder blade, middle back, lower back, buttock, back of the thigh, palm, heel, the front of the body, top, left ear, right eye, left eye, right nostril, left nostril, the upper lip, lower lip, chin, the neck, right chest, left chest, stomach. Relax your whole body, and your whole body.
Be aware of your sankalp, whatever is your resolution for the coming 1 year, stating that into a short positive sentence 3 times to yourself. This is like a seed that you sow in the depths of your consciousness. Anything in life may fail you, never your own. In your own time, beginning to move your fingers, toes, beginning to stretch your body. And in your own time, turning to one side, coming up to sit. Beginning to rub your palms together. Wishing everybody around as well a namaste. So we continue to sit in a circle. So you can just come in a bit closer. And those in the center, if you can just move out to the side. You don't need all your mats. Just sit fairly close so you can talk. Slightly back so that everybody fits. Please do join and then we'll close out the circle. You can just make space for her. Those of you who would like to share your sankalp for the coming year, please go ahead. Some of you may not want to, but if there's anybody who wants to, please do share. It's nice to have some accountability. So once you put it out there, then there's no turning back. Always good that a lot of people know what you're trying to do. That most of the time, you know what you want to do, but you don't have the confidence to pursue. One of the easiest ways to get that done is to share it with people who are friends. Would anybody want to start?
Yoga practice was like once, twice a week. But at least practice yoga once every day for an hour.
Anybody else? Let's keep it vibrant.
Mine is to pranayama. Pranayama, we start like for the last 2 weeks, just keep it going every morning and starting the day with pranayama. So starting the day very well, focused, relaxed, and breathing well. Mine is to do yoga every day. I usually only do it in group classes, but I really want to enhance my own practice. So this is what I want to focus on.
I will invest 1 hour a day for my mind, for meditation, for breathing and yoga.
Mine is to study, teach, and practice yoga every day.
Wow. Anybody else, guys? Come on.
For me, mine is actually quite the same. For sure, want to get pranayama and hopefully also yoga every day at least 1 hour.
So by now, let's say pranayama and asana.
And asana also. Pranayama and asana. At least
Now we
1 hour.
know that yoga means all of this.
Yeah.
Or-
At least I didn't say breathing technique, so you know. Pranayama and asana.
Anybody else?
Be working on the five sheets of the soul, the with the practices that I've already been integrate those.
Others? Once you get it out there, it's quite easy.
I'll share that I want to show up on my mat every day, so I'm saying, but also continue to develop my own understanding so that I can share it with people in my life who haven't been introduced to it yet.
Yeah, I wanna work in myself inside, in my inner energy to be more clear. Also meditation, like I can feel I can find myself meditating. I didn't do that before, so meditation.
In asana every single day now, with the mind and our self-study. Create like actual space in our house where I can meditate, like in my place, it's just with us, and let's just be practicing every day.
I'd like to serve people. I generally am very happy by myself. That's why I'm living in Ahmed. I come here for 2 days and go back. So this year, I like to get back to six, get back to teaching, and get back. That's my
I find so much benefit in just practicing almost consistently and so when it comes to also doing 1 hour a day per year, you do develop good sense of focus.
I'm the same. I'd like to just commit to doing yoga every day, studying yoga, doing asanas, but eventually being able to sit so quietly for 2.5 hours, like evening.
thing. So we got 3 more goes, then we're close. Some people keep it to themselves. That's absolutely fine. Just so you know that we all know it already. Okay, okay. I'm teaching you guys on Tuesday morning. I'm very curious to know how the last 2 weeks have gone, how fitter you've got, and I'll take you through a yoga class. I don't think you've done hatha yoga, but let's get back on Tuesday morning. So I'll start pranayama from 6 to 9. That's what I'm going to be doing. On the last day, I mean, your course gets over next Saturday. On the Sunday, I'm back to teach a Shatkriyas program where I'm happy to teach. And if there's anybody who really, we don't have it as part of the course simply because put into within your course format. So we'll be doing Jalaneti, all the 6 Kriyas, so Jalaneti, Kapalbhati Tratak, for the eyes, for the nasal cavity, Kunjal Kriya, regurgitating, so cleaning up the alimentary canal. You drink water and you regurgitate. Colon cleansing, you drink water, do certain asanas, then sit on the pot, so the entire colon gets cleansed. And of course, Noli Kriya. These cleansing practices of traditional Hatha Yoga. Hatha Yoga has these 5 elements as we've discussed. 1 is the cleansing, 2 is the asana, 3 is pranayam, 4 is mudras, bandhas, and 5 is listening to nada. So cleansing is something that should be done periodically. Once you learn the whole protocol, you can keep 1 day every month, like a Sunday every month, where you learn to cleanse. So on that given day, we'll start at 7 in the morning. I'll split the group depending how many of you are staying back for this particular program. BSO will share details and so on and so forth. It will also be open to our students from previous batches because ever since Corona came in, we've not done the cleansing practices here. If I was here the whole month, I would do this immediately because I think it's very important as part of the journey. But this gives me a chance since I'm here to get that done. So we'll do that on Sunday. You have to eat a particular kind of khichdi and so on. So the previous day, I know it's graduation and you'll be celebrating and so on. That's fine. Just keep it a bit light so that the next morning we can get into cleansing and so on and so forth. Yeah. Also, I'm available. I step out today, but I come back tomorrow night or something. I'm there on Tuesday and so on. If anybody has any queries, questions, anything that you want about philosophy before your exams or something, maybe I can schedule an hour with you guys at some point in the restaurant or something, where we can go through philosophy, history, everything that I've taught you, so that you're ready for your exams. I personally think that this should be the least of your concerns, exam and the stress of all that. Let's get it out of the way, bro. And I'm happy to sort of take you through. Normally, every course that I'm here at, I do that just before the exam so that everything is clear. Don't worry, you just focus on the teaching skills. Yeah, we'll do that on Tuesday while I'm here. I may continue to be on till Sunday, so if you need any help, feel free to ask. And if I'm not there, at least on Tuesday, we'll definitely. Thank you. Wish you all a very, very happy yoga day. I see you next sweating on Tuesday morning. Namaste.